All right, welcome back for race 7 of the IRS Gt4 Championship Series. We're a little bit delayed on our video production this week, as you know, all the races are broadcast, the replays are broadcast, so this is not live. Nevertheless, the action is still very enjoyable. We'll run through the grid order for you. Starting pole position will be Timlour. Starting second, we've got Turbo. These two are contenders for the Pro title, Pro Championship Drivers title. So we'll be watching them closely throughout the race. Starting third, Harry Mop, which is also in with its shout. Well, he's just on the outside, a few points back. Nevertheless, still a good competitor. Starting fourth, we've got Ace Boy in the Mercedes SLS. Starting fifth, his teammate in Top Performance Motorsport, Race Fan. Race Fan's presently in second place in the Pro-Am drivers. He's the first of our Pro-Am drivers today. Yeah, he's about 13 points back to GentlemanRacing. Nice qualifying performance, so he's starting a few spots ahead of GentlemanRacing. Perhaps he can capitalize that. Starting sixth, we've got Fast One. He's neck and neck with Race Fan. Actually, they're both tied for second in the Pro-Am runnings on 44 points. GentlemanRacing's got 57 points. And speaking of, starting seventh is GentlemanRacing. These two put a good race together here, so he doesn't fall back into the clutches in terms of points with the other two guys. Starting eighth, newcomer to the series, raced last week in a little special event number we had. But yeah, so we've got Rizzer. Not sure how to pronounce it just yet. I believe it's Rizzer. Starting eighth, and starting ninth, Desert Penguin. Desert Penguin's missed a couple of races this season, 2 races to be exact, which is fine. You got a drop. Every driver gets 2 drop races. That's how the points will be calculated. And he's a little ways back on 38 points. This will be Rizzer's first event, so he's going to be putting down some points for the first time here. But anyway, that's the championship picture. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting here. If GentlemanRacing can hang in there with the Pro-Ams, finish in the top 3, he'll be good to lock it down for our final race, the race finale at Spa. Right now, there's a few drivers missing this race this week. It's tough during the summertime. Real life events take precedent over this very enjoyable hobby of sim racing. Some wouldn't call this sim racing because we're on the console, but what the heck, anything that gives you a feeling like you're racing, to me, is sim racing. All right, coming up on the start finish, up front with the leaders. Turn 1 here, that first chicane's known to be a troublesome spot at the beginning of these races. Hopefully we keep things clean and folks can have a good time. Yep, and they're off. Ooh, look at this. 3 wide into turn 1. And Turbo makes a move right through the chicane. Oh, gets a little loose in the rear end there, but nevertheless holds on to it. And as I mentioned earlier, Timlour's in the championship lead for the pro drivers. Turbo's got no drop races left, so drivers here, they get 1 bonus point for pole position and 1 for fastest lap. So Turbo's got his hands full. He's got to get a win and try to grab those other bonus points so he can draw back in within range. We'll have the points tallied up for you next week. We'll throw an overlay up there so folks can see what the fight is for next week's the finale. Should be a good one. And you can see the 2 leaders already breaking clear. Harry Mop with Ace Boy on his tail. And then we've got Fast One. And Desert Penguin up from 9th all the way up to 6th already. Making moves. It looks like he wants Fast One's 5th place position. If you recall, these guys had some engaged in some fisticuffs, vehicular fisticuffs at the Red Bull Ring towards the end of the race there. Ooh, and Fast One gets that left wheel in the grass. Gotta keep the wheels out of the grass, bub. So it should be a fight all race long between these two. Race fan and Gentleman Racing. Looks like Gentleman Racing slightly ahead. Gets himself in the grass too. Oh boy. Oh, we got some contact here. Oh yes, contact. Looks like Rizzer missed his braking point down at the end of the straight, and Gentleman Racing's got some. Oh, he's got left rear suspension aero damage, and looks like he's got severe engine damage. And right at the start of the lap, so he's gonna have to finish this whole first lap and pit in for damage. Oh, very unfortunate. Now, I'm sure not intentional. That's not the kind of debut that Rizzer wanted to see, but nevertheless, you know, these things happen. Gotta give the rookie's got damage too. Rizzer's got right front damage to the suspension and the aero. It's unfortunate, but it happens. The stewards will talk it over and see what's going on. But clearly, you know, rear end collisions are always usually always the striking vehicle's fault, unless there's some brake checking in there, which I doubt there was, but nevertheless. Oh, it looks like Timlour's jumped back ahead of Turbo. Coming into the Parabolica here. Looks like they're gonna be, hopefully they're not gonna be going back and forth. Maybe they're doing the, maybe they're doing this as a tactic, I don't know, but if they do that too much more battling between Timlour and Turbo, that's gonna allow Harry Mop and Ace Boy to get back close to them. Yeah, you can see 3rd and 4th place are closing in. Let's see how the battle for 5th is shaping up. Looks like Desert Penguins open up a little gap to Fast One. Yeah, Desert Penguin coming back strong. He missed the race. Did he miss last week? He did. If it's your first time watching, track limit penalties are set to week. You know, generally speaking, as you can see there, it went down from 0.9 to 0.7. Generally speaking, you burn those off over the course of a lap, but they're just there as a reminder not to take too liberal an entry or exit through the corners there. There are a couple of tracks in the game where there's some pretty tight track limits, but in general, from my personal perspective, the track limits aren't too bad on weak. On strong, it's just absurd, but on weak, it's just a nice reminder, and to not have to, or for the organizers to not have to constantly review who's doing what in terms of track limits. It's just It's a big time saver. This top pack of 4 is just really tight. Timlour looks like he's looking to make a breakaway from Turbo. Heading through Curva Grande there, coming up to the second chicane. Let's do some onboard with Turbo. And I'm convinced that that's the difference between these, your faster guys in this game and your average guys. It's just these smooth inputs that you're watching here. Fascinating, really. Got a nice exit out of the chicane. Oh, and it looks like Ace Boys moved ahead of, carrying a heavy penalty. Oh, and he gets a little loose there. Somehow he's gotten ahead of Harry Mop. Let's go on board with Harry, who's carrying a penalty himself. Still quite a few laps to go. Plenty of time to burn off these penalties. You can see he burned some off there. Also, looks like Fast One's gotten ahead of Desert Penguin. Oh, here we are. Come on, boys, keep it clean. Fast One going to look for an inside move here. Shows the front end of his car, but doesn't make a move. see Race Fan in the background there with a nice qualifying, but yeah, maybe suffering from tire wear already. Yeah, it's not too bad, but in relation, ooh, carrying a penalty. He must have had an incident there somewhere during the course of the race. He's falling back a ways to these guys. Let's see, check on Rizzer. He's come in, taking repairs. And Gentleman Racing has as well, but he loaded up on fuel, maybe thinking he can run the rest of the race. Probably cannot. Given that he's running the soft tires, it's a lot to ask. Well behind the rest of the pack, as you can see on the track map there. Oof. Tough race. Is not what he needed. He needed to kind of solidify his lead in the championship, and with Desert Penguin Fast One and Race Fan up ahead of him with the new participant Rizzer in between, it's tough. It's going to be tough to hold on to that championship lead. He's going to have to hope to make up at least one spot here, and then do his best to lock it down at Spa next week. All right, so we'll run through the order here. We've got Timlour in the lead, Turbo close behind. You know, I would tend to think that's tactics. And you've got Harry Mop and Ace Boy locked in a fight for the final podium spot. Yeah, you can see Harry Mop able to shed some more of that penalty. Oof. Meanwhile, Ace Boy, you know, it's just tough. He's under pressure here. Can't really look to lift or brake early or any of that stuff. And now they're side by side into Parabolica. Ooh, how's this gonna go? Oh, and Ace Boy feels the pressure, runs wide. Loses the spot. Might want to start thinking about scrubbing off some of that penalty time now. It's odd that he went off track and didn't burn any of it off. He certainly lost time there. You can see how the gap opened up, and he lost a position. The game does crazy stuff sometimes. Ooh. Oh, but he makes up a ton of time through the chicane. What's going on here? Did Harry Mop have a little bobble? He's got no penalty time. Really going at it hard, these two. Oh, and look at Ace Boy. My, oh my. How did he gather that up? Yeah, let's get through the rest of the order. Oh, Desert Penguin with a scuff. It's got some damage there. It's going to have to buff out after the race. It's holding down fifth, sixth position. We've got Fast One. Won't see any damage on his car. Huh? Strange. But Race Fan's been able to, through grit and determination, he's been able to close the gap. Perhaps Fast One had an issue. See if he can do it. We've got Rizzer in 8th and Gentleman Racing in 9th. But we're going to stay on board here for a while. You can see on the track map there's quite a gap between those two. We'll see if that closes up, if Gentleman Racing's able to close in on Rizzer and pick up that one spot. Doubt he'll be able to catch anybody else with that, having to stop for repairs and probably having to make another stop for fuel. And that Honda's quick. He's not making up any time on him. Lots of penalty time there. Looks like Fast One's closing in on Desert Penguin there. Little lockup in the rear brakes. Personal best lap for a Fast One there. Now he's in the draft. See if he can catch Penguin here. Ooh, closes up hard under braking. He's got to get through the chicane nice and get a nice launch. And he does, but that Hyundai, I'll tell you, it's got comes out of the corners nice if you can keep the power down. It's got nice torque. Go back up to the leaders. Coming close to pit stop time, where the window's definitely open. See what they do here. I think Turbo may be sitting back, keeping his options open. His tires are a little bit fresher, and he's got a tiny bit more fuel. Oh, he's inside. Is he pitting? Yes, Timlour pits. Turbo inherits the lead, checks his mirrors. No one behind him, running his own race there. Harrymont pits, Ace Boy pits. You got Desert Penguin coming through the Parabolica. Those guys get out ahead of them. These guys are in the middle of a fight. Last thing you want to do, Timlour's out, cutting through the chicane. Ace Boy's just coming out. Desert Penguin. Did Harrymont make it out? Oh, and he's gonna come out in the midst of this battle. And Fast One's got no time to wait around. He's got to get through the chicane, and this may just give. Yes, and this gives Penguin a break. He's got to take full advantage of the fact that Harrymont's sitting there in between himself and Fast One. Oh, and he goes in a little too hot. Loses a few tenths there. Desert Penguin having a strong race, just what he needed. He could, had he come out a bit sooner, he would have had a nice benefit of the draft with Ace Boy up at third. So Desert Penguin's only worry now is growing this gap to Fast One. and he'll get a nice points haul out of this race. I mean, it's probably likely that Harry Mop will scoot on by, being that he's a pro driver and he's very fast. Oh, and he makes the attempt, does not wait. He wants to get up after Ace Boy as soon as possible. Ace Boy with a nice gap back to Harry Mop. Nevertheless. Oh, and Desert Penguin and Fast One both come in. Race Fan comes in as well. Is Rizzer close enough? No, nope, not even at Parabolica yet. And it looks like Gentleman Racing is looking to, yeah, keep running. Rizzer's, as you can see, Rizzer's fuel level is down below a quarter of a tank, but Gentleman Racing, when he took his repairs, had to have taken fuel on. So it's probably going to have a long stint coming up for Gentleman Racing. And then just top off towards the end. Try to see if he can catch Rizzer. Oh, everyone's racking up penalties. No one's getting a clean race bonus this week. Oh, you can see the avatar checking the mirror. Is the pressure working? Is Turbo's pressure having an effect? Looks like it is. Burn some of that penalty off. You can see Turbo came through the chicane, the Ascari. Clean. He's on the inside. He's gonna make the move. Oh, Blinks first. They're going through Parabolica side by side. Oh, and Timlour just holds it. But now he's got to hold it for the whole length of the straight. That's going to be a tough task. Oh, and we can see Penguin drawing alongside. Oh, he thinks better of it. Sorry, not Penguin, Turbo. The cars are identical, except for the windscreen banner and the Pro and Pro-Am decals on the rear bumper. Sometimes your host gets confused here, but clearly it's Turbo. These two have been going at it all season long. What a battle. Timlour carrying a tiny smidgen of a penalty. Turbo's got no penalty. Oh man, I'm feeling the pressure. Looks like Rizzer's pitted, and it looks like Gentleman Racing has picked up that one position, 8th, but it's only temporary, folks. He's no way he's gonna make another 9 laps with that amount of fuel, unless he starts toggling the fuel settings on board there. Let's see what the laps look like between these two. Looks like Gentleman Racing in the mid-58s for the most part, and Rizzer's in the 59. So maybe it can work. Maybe Gentleman Racing can make up a position here. That's terrible production, terrible cinematography here. It looks like Turbo's made the move coming down the straight towards Parabolica, because when he exited Parabolica there, just as we switched cameras, he's already out in front with a couple car lengths gap. Oh, and here comes Timlour. Will he make the move? No, it's too tight, too close to the end of the straight. This has been 15 laps of this, with a little rest for a pit stop. And it looks like Turbo's overcut worked. He's going to want to open a gap though, because with these high-speed straights and all the drafting that can go on, anything can happen. But I always get the sense that you've got to, when you're looking to make a move in the last lap, it's got to be well before you get to the parabolica. Very difficult to pull off a pass there unless somebody goes in too hot, goes too wide, makes a mistake under pressure. But these two guys, as you can see, they don't feel pressure. It's alien to them. Those little track limit penalties are nothing. And let's check on that battle for third. Ace Boy, the gap back to Harry Mop. It's too bad for the fans. Would have been good to watch those guys going at it as well. Desert Penguin, the healthy gap back to Race Fan, who's gotten ahead of Fast One. This may be the fight here. The second half of the race, second stint here. These two guys are ahead of Desert Penguin in points. They need those points that he's holding right now up in fifth to try to catch Gentleman Racing in the Pro-Am Championship. I don't want to say Desert Penguin's a spoiler here because he's not. He's in the running as well. It's just that his two drop races ended up being non-starts. Really not a problem. You know, people have real lives. It's not all Gran Turismo all the time, even though we like to think it should be. So, by no means is Desert Penguin the spoiler, but he chose the right race to not miss because that Hyundai's strong here. Timlour back in the lead. Oh, we keep missing it, folks. And it looks like to me that the Hyundai, however you pronounce it, is very strong through the Ascari chicane. You can see how he gets a much better line through the chicane, and he's able to just pull right up on the bumper. But judging by the fact that he pretty much stayed out of the draft for the first half of that straight after the Ascari chicane, it's telling me this is about tactics right here. Sizing Timlour up. It's not an easy thing to do. He gets out of the draft. Will he try the out-braking maneuver? No, he doesn't. Brakes earlier than Timlour. It could be that the front end of that Hyundai aerodynamically is hindering any type of move like that. I mean, a Hyundai's a nice looking car and all, but it's certainly, as you can see, if you compare it to the Huracan, it's not as well. Just by looks, I'm judging. It's not as aerodynamically efficient. So he may be hitting what one would refer to a brick wall when he gets out of that draft. So he's going to have to work something out here in the next 6 laps, see what's going on. And it looks like by virtue of Rizzer's stop, Gentleman Racing, who stayed on track, has been able to make some headway. Rizzer looks like he's good to go. Looks like he's got enough fuel. Gentleman Racing's got quite a bit left still. Look for him to stop in the closing laps. Looks like Timlour got a nice run through Ascari that time. He was able to keep the gap to about a car length. In prior laps, we saw that Turbo would kind of reel him in a little. Turbo remains patient. Ace Boy still carrying a pretty sizable penalty, but he's got a good gap back to Harry Mop, so shouldn't cost him anything if he finishes. Well, Harry Mop's got his own 1.2 second penalties. Yeah, it's tough here. It's tough. A couple of corners that, very small margin for error. Desert Penguin carrying a half a second himself. These shouldn't factor into the race whatsoever. Fast one now with race fan right on him. Sorry about that poor camera work there. Happens. Closing in on 5 laps. Looks like Penguin elected to burn off some of that penalty time he was carrying. Had quite a bit of time, but as you can see, the gaps closed between himself and Fast One. Oh, and Harry Mop into the pits. What's this about? Oh, doesn't burn any of the... comes out ahead of that group of Pro-Ams battling, Desert Penguin, Fast One, and Race Fan. Perhaps a fuel miscalculation or something of that nature. That gives... Ace Boy a clear road for a podium, the last spot on the podium there. Oh, and Gentleman Racing has made it up to 8th. Caught Rizzer. Oh. They're approaching the scene of their first collision. And Rizzer brakes early, very, very careful there. As you can see, on their first lap, they had that collision. You could see Rizzer being cautious, making sure doesn't happen again. That's the sign of a true gentleman racer right there. And Rizzer. I suspect that he also knows Gentleman Racing is going to have to make a second stop here, so, what's the point of being extra aggressive? He'll get the position back once Gentleman Racing comes in. Turbo takes a peek there. Says, nope, I'm gonna wait till the last couple of laps to make his move. All season long, these two. Turbo's missed a couple of the events, so, if not for that, pretty sure. Yep, Yeah, he's missed 2 races, so those are his drop races. He's got to gather up as many points as he can. So we know he's going to look to make a move here in the final laps. Just it's a matter of time and whether it'll work out his way. And perhaps, now that I think of it, perhaps Harry Mop is looking to grab that fastest lap bonus point, snatch that away from Timlour. Turbo nearly gets into the sand, but it still carries that speed. Man, so fast through the corners is Turbo. Make his move now. Doesn't look like it. Oh, and they're side by side. No, he doesn't. Tucks in. Lap 22 of 23 here. He's got this lap and one more. Let's run through the order. Timlour first, Turbo in second, but you knew that already. Ace Boy in third with a nice gap back to Harry Mop. Fourth, maybe looking to get a fastest lap, but if he's carrying that penalty, I don't know if it'll register. Fifth, Desert Penguin, running nice lap times here in the closing laps of the race in the 57s. Very nice. Oh no, Race Fan in sixth. Oh, heavy front end, engine, suspension damage. Terrible circumstance. So Fast One inherits sixth. And Fast One's got damage as well. Front aero, suspension. Must have maybe mixed it up with someone. It doesn't look like Race Fan's got any rear end damage. Did he catch a shove from Fast One? I'll have to review the tape. Eighth, Gentleman Racing still is yet to pit. Oh no. Well, looks like he did pit, took on a little bit of fuel. Rizzer in ninth. Let's get back up here. Closing laps. Stay with the leaders here. See how this one ends. Start of lap 23 is gonna be coming up right about now. Here we have it. Is it this early in the lap that'll make the move? Oh, and he does. And they go, oh, a little argy-bargy. They go too wide through the chicane. And the torque of that Hyundai pulls him through. I can't say it right. Genesis. Torque of that Genesis pulls him ahead. He's got the lead. Now he's got to hold off. He's got to hold Timlour off. He gets into the gravel a little bit. Takes the middle of the road. Timlour is sniffing around. I don't know if he can find a spot to make a move. Perhaps the next straight. If he gets a good run through this corner here. Oh, and you can see Turbo's just on a nice edge. Like I mentioned earlier, that Genesis is just carries so much speed, it looks like. You can see the avatar look over. Will they go too wide through Ascari? They do. They do. Oh my, that's going to be a time penalty. I think he's going to get a penalty for that line through. Oh, and he does. This would mark the first race where a time penalty for track limits would impact the finish. Let's see if it actually does, or if he's able to burn it off before crossing the line. He's got a heck of a gap back, and Timlour may know that it's a potential issue. So Turbo, the game gives Turbo the win despite the time penalty. Timlour second. Let's run through the field. Ace Boy's going to lock down third. Fourth for Harry Mop. Fifth for Desert Penguin. A strong finish. Takes the Pro-Am, takes the win in Pro-Am. Scores a nice handful of points for that fifth place. Very well done. Just what he needed to reel reel all the other Pro-Ams in their championship run. Nice job. Fast one. He's got some scuff marks all along the car there. Have to review and see how he got those. Looks like Race Fan's going to be locking in seventh, even after having to stop, assuming he has enough fuel. Red lights flashing. Doesn't look like Gentleman Racing poses a threat. He's quite a ways back here on the last lap. And then we've got our newcomer, Rizzer. Welcome, Rizzer. Well, I know it was a tough first lap there with the contact, but things get better. Got Spa next week, so you can smile about that, that's for sure. And there you have it. Your winner. Nice dramatic finish at the end there. Join us next week for the finale at Spa Francorchamps. See you then.